So what does this have to do with Howard Lutnick? The New Republic reporting that Cantor Fitzgerald, the brokerage house he turned over to his sons, well, Cantor Fitzgerald stands to make a fortune from the tariffs getting overturned by the Supreme Court. Here's how it works. The government supposedly now has to return all the tariffs it collected from the businesses who imported stuff that they had to pay tariffs on. Well, they collected money. Now the government has to return that money. We're talking billions of dollars that have to be refunded to all the corporations that paid the tariffs. And of course, they pass those costs along to you and me, the American consumer. We're not getting the refunds. So what Lutnick's kids over at Cantor Fitzgerald did is they turned the right to a refund from the government into a security that you can trade and swap and bet on. So if you're owed a refund from the government, but you don't want to sit around waiting for the government to give it to you, or you think maybe the Supreme Court isn't going to overturn the tariffs and you're not getting any refund at all, you sell your refund rights to Howard Lutnick's kids at a discount. So in July of last year, right after the tariffs began to kick in, Lutnick's kids started buying up the right to a refund from the federal government should the court overturn the tariffs. And now, because the courts did in fact rule the tariffs are unconstitutional, Lutnick's kids stand to make a fortune. They will get the refund from the government because they bought the rights to the refund at a discount. By the way, if you don't understand any of this, you're not supposed to. This is exactly how the economy got crashed in 2008. Trading and then betting on debt that nobody understands. The point is, Howard Lutnick took his kids to Pedo Island. Jeffrey Epstein taught them something, right? If the Democrats win back one of the chambers of Congress, one of the first things they're going to look into is the Lutnick family's trades made throughout that period of turbulence in the stock market created by Trump's tariffs. When the Supreme Court overturned the tariffs, the stock market shot up immediately, kind of like the way it crashed back in 2025 when Trump announced the tariffs. You might remember Trump would declare the tariffs and the market would sink. Then he would rescind some of the tariffs and the stock market would soar. He was controlling the stock market like King Canute controlled the tides. And Trump couldn't believe that all he had to do was say something and the markets would move. You know, for a guy whose penis hasn't worked in decades, that's as good as it's going to get for him. And you know who Trump talks to every night? This is true. Every night before Trump tries to go to bed, he talks to Howard Lutnick. Lutnick is the Trump whisperer. He tells Trump how smart he is, how great he is. You know, he's a liar. And Trump finds that soothing. And you know who else Howard Lutnick talks to every day? His two idiot sons who he put in charge of Cantor Fitzgerald.